welcome back to my tarot corner. And since I did get some comments about not using the Rider-Waite tarot, I am going to do a few sessions with different Rider-Waite decks that I have, because there are certain varieties even in the Rider-Waite decks. There's themselves all kind of different depictions and coloring, with border, without border. So this is a very beautiful deck that is called Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. Now I often use the mini version that is smaller, and it is smaller cards, but those cards are not glossy, and they don't have, and they are with borders and not borderless like these cards. So there is a difference. And this reading is a request by one of my subscribers about Doria Ragland and the energies around her, especially around her time in prison. Was her time in prison longer than we first thought? How was it for her daughter to find out that her mother is in prison? So, and how was it for her to have a mother in prison? So first, I want to find out if it's even true that she was in prison, because we still don't have an actual proof of that, only rumors. And then I will ask whether this time was longer than we know, and how did it affect Meghan. So I'm going to do a little bit of a little spread, asking all kind of questions and drawing cards while doing that. And first I'm trying to shuffle it. It's not very easy because these cards are a lot bigger, and they're also very hard to, they're not flexible as many others, and not very easy for my hands. So I'm doing one more shuffle, and then I will do a clearing of the deck. Okay, so now let's clear the deck. And now let's ask the question. So energies around Doria Ragland, her time in prison, and the effects on Meghan. Energies around Doria Ragland, her time in prison, and the effects on Meghan. Energies around Doria's time in prison. So was Doria really in prison, as we have been told? So what was Doria really in prison, as the rumor says? So first I'm going to cut it, and let's see. So the first question is whether or not she was in prison. and we get the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is a yes answer, although, as I said, it is a positive card because it's a card of recognition and reward. But this can also be being recognized for things that she did in the past and being rewarded for it. And it doesn't have to be a positive reward. It can also be being in prison because your bad things were recognized and you are rewarded for that. And this reward is prison time. So, but this is a yes answer. So Doria was in prison. Now the question is, was she longer than we know? So was she longer than we know? And we get the Four of Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles is not a yes and not a no. It is a card of feeling threatened and adhering to what you have because of this feeling of being threatened. So we know that she was in prison because of money things. We know that it's something connected with tax evasion, and probably because she didn't pay her taxes as she was supposed to, or try to avoid paying her taxes. This doesn't tell us if she was more time or not. So I'm going to shuffle once more and ask if she was longer in prison than we know. So was Doria in Ragland in prison longer than we know? Was she longer than we know? Was she longer than we know? One more shuffle. And another cut. Let's see what we get now. So the card we get now is the Three of Swords. Now the Three of Swords can be a no, so that's a no answer. But it is also a destruction, and destruction that is caused because of a past bad choices. If the previous card is the Two of Swords, which is the card of making a choice, and when you do the bad choice, you end up with the Three of Swords. So both of them together, it looks like she was acting threatened or trying to evade paying money, trying to keep her money or evade paying her taxes, and she ended up with the Three of Swords, which is jail time. So we know that she was in jail. This is another answer that tells us that she was in jail. It's very hard to know whether or not she was longer than we know, but she was in jail, and probably for a long time, because this is a very hard card of destruction and destroying yourself because of something that you did. So this is something well deserved. This is something that this is destruction well deserved. This is not something that just happens to you, and this is failure that was known in advance, and this is something that she could have known when she did the things that made her go to jail, and she did try to pin it on Thomas Markle, but it didn't work. So it looks like she was longer in jail than it looks like. Than she was, than we've been told, because it does look like she did this destruction is a lot more than a minor destruction. So now let's see how did this jail time affect Meghan. How Doria's jail time affect Meghan? How did Doria's jail time affect Meghan. And one more shuffle. How the Doria's jail time affect Meghan. Let's see what we get. And the card that I get is the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords is the reporter, but it is also a person that is very slick tongue. So I would say that that time taught her to lie, because this is a person that is very good in verbal communication and is very, very slick tongue, and can sell everything and can lie very, very easily. So if Thomas Markle said that his daughter learned to lie only after she married Harry, or or only when she started being with the people from the Soho house, then that's not true. This time, that time that Doria was in jail, that was the first time that Meghan learned to lie, because she was probably wasn't very proud in her mother, and she didn't want to tell people that her mother is in jail, so she lied. So this was the first time that she was lying, and this is what the time that Doria's jail time taught her. Now let's see if we have anything else that affected Meghan. And we get the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is the card of leaving, of letting go, of leaving things to the universe to work it out. So I would say that this card is actually telling us that Meghan learned from this experience of her mother leaving her, that there are things that she cannot control. This is a card of letting go, and whatever will be, will be. So there are things that she cannot control, and then it's better to just leave them and just let the universe take care of those things. And this is also a card of someone who is detached, and that is why this is also a card of someone who needs therapy. Why? Because he is detached, he is going away, he's leaving behind him all of these cups, which symbolize happiness and feelings. And when a person leaves all of his feelings behind and goes, that means that he is becoming detached from his feelings. And I would say that at that time she also became detached from her feelings, and that time also taught her to leave her feelings aside when she is dealing with other people. Now let's see what the underlying energy says, and the underlying energy is the Page of Pentacles. Now the Page of Pentacles is the clerk. He is someone that is very, very very good with money, with work, but he is someone also that goes with the flow. He is orderly, he is pedant, but he's also a coward and reluctant to changes. And another thing about the Page of Pentacles is that he is stubborn. So all of that together gives us a picture of Meghan as a person. And as a person, she is someone who learned to lie. She's someone who is completely detached from her feelings and doesn't really think about how to solve problems, but just leaving it to the world or for others to do that. And also thinking about how to get money, being very pedant, being very orderly, very organized, but also a coward and reluctant to change. So she wouldn't change for others. She expects others to change for her, but she wouldn't change herself for others. And this is part of the experience that she learned from from her mother being in jail. So all in all, that is what the tarot says about Doria's time in prison. And I will go to the quantum of the oracle, which gives us a much wider picture, because it does touch a lot of things in in human lives, and see what the oracle can tell us about Meghan's feelings when her mother was in jail. So Meghan's feeling when Doria was in jail, what Doria's jail time meant for Meghan, what Doria's jail time meant for Meghan. So let's see what we get. And the first card is a card of people and kindred partnership. So she did understand that partnership and being with someone and being with someone who cares for you is important, and it was something that she longed for because she didn't have her mother. And this is someone who wants a good partnership with someone and wants to be loved. And because she didn't have it with her mother, then she always feels unloved, and she always feels that she is longing for this partnership. So this is one thing. And the second thing is events, and that was a very prominent milestone in her life, because this is milestones, and this was a very important milestone in her life. This is something that was very important in creating her character for years to come. And the next card is intentions. And the intentions is, we got it before for Meghan, the honoring path. She vowed that she will be honored. She will be the one that everybody admires. She will be the one who is like the Queen of Wands, performing in front of an audience, and everybody will be honoring her and admiring her. And because she felt ashamed of having a mother in jail and having to lie about her mother and why she's living with her father, she vowed that she will be honored on the honoring path. She will always be honored. So this is it for the reading about Doria's jail time and its precautions on Meghan. And I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. You can also write me an email, and I always like getting requests, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.